There we go. All right, so that's one component of identifying upward trend. All right, so another confirmation is our highs. So we have the first high. So when we go to the next one, this one is higher than the previous, and this one is higher than the previous. So this is called upward trend. And what we're looking for out of this is buys. Buys only, okay? So that's the first trend. If you guys want, you can take a picture of this so you have a visual. Drop a 2 once you take a picture and you have it saved somewhere for you, so you know what an upward trend is or a buy trend is. So drop a 2 in the chat once you took a picture of it, and then I'm going to show you the second one. All right, cool. Got some 2s, got some 2s. All right, so if you guys did not get a picture of this, you can ask somebody in the chat and they will drop it for you. If not, I mean, once this is done, I will drop the recording. All right, so the second trend is a downward trend. So just the opposite, right? Pretty basics. So we're just looking for the opposite. So what this one is doing is going down. And so when you're looking at a downward trend, you're making, let me just draw this real quick. It's just the reverse. All right. So what we're seeing is that the first high that it was made is making lower highs. So previous is lower than the previous one. This one's lower than the previous one. This one is lower than the previous one. All right, so we're making lower highs. We're also making lower lows. So here we have our first low. This second low is lower than the first one. This third low is lower than the second one and the first one, and then the fourth one, and so on. All right, so this is what we call our downward trend. And then this, all we're looking for throughout this trend is a sell. All right, so the reason why I'm telling you to only look for sells on a downward trend and a buys on the upward trend is because you never want to counter trend trade. You never want to counter trend trade. When you do that, you have a high risk of losing a lot of money. You're going to be angry when you do so. So when you're getting into trades, make sure you're going with the trend. There's only 2 trends that pretty much makes up the whole market for the different pairs. Is it either going up or it's going down? All right, so once you identify the overall trend on the 4-hour or a day, this will help you a lot just because you know you're going with the trend. When you go with the trend, it usually pays out way better than going against the trend. So never counter trend trade. Never counter trend trade. I'm going to repeat that over and over. It might sound tedious, but it's very, very essential and important to do so. How do you get to this chart? This chart is on TradingView. This is through you. If you go to IM Center, it tells you how to like work it, things of that nature. It's free. If you want to add like indicators and stuff, you know you gotta pay for that. Nothing's free in life. All right. So that's the first step. Identify the overall trend. Drop a 3 in the chat if you understand the 2 trends. 3 in the chat if you understand the 2 trends. Up or down. We don't have no like middle. We don't have no slanted. We just got up or down. All right, cool. So you guys have perfected the first step. All right, the second step is support and resistance. All right, support and resistance. This might have you guys a little tricked up, but it's pretty straightforward as well, just like what it said. And we're gonna do zones. How about that? All right, so with this, we want to look for support and resistance zones only on the hour chart. Only on the hour chart. All right, so we'll go to hour, and this is typically the time frame we'll do our support and resistance. All right, so cool. We get to see more in depth about what's going on. All right. Oh, look, you are ahead of the game. Okay, sir, I'm loving it. All right, so like I said, we're doing support and resistance. All right, so I'm gonna draw some little figures for you guys. You know, the figures help. I'm more of a visual person anyway, so this helped me convey pretty much what we're doing today. So I'm just gonna draw 2 figures. You know, don't judge my figures. This is just to help you guys. All right, cool. We got our first one. We got our second one. Boom. All right. No, it's kind of lopsided. I get it. All right, cool. So we have our 2 little figures, and we have our 2 little floors right here in our ceiling. All right. So for the first person, the person is standing on a floor. All right, a floor. The reason why I made this is because it gives you a visual of what's going on, and then we're gonna relate it to the market. All right, so this person is standing on the floor. So just imagine if we're in an apartment building and I'm like on the bottom on the 3rd floor, and I have somebody on top of me on the 4th floor. That's what separates us, is this floor, which is my ceiling. So this is my ceiling, like my head cannot go above this ceiling. And obviously this person cannot just go through the floor unless they just do something out of the ordinary. But this floor is supporting this person to stand up, of course. And this ceiling is also preventing me to go through. All right. So the floor is also known as support. So the floor is supporting the market to where it's, you know, it's being its comfort zone. Like it's not going to go past it, or it's not going to just do something traumatic, right? And so also that floor turns into the ceiling for another part of the market. So as you see the second person on the 3rd floor, they cannot go through that floor. They can't go through it. So this is their ceiling. They can't go through it unless they just fly or bust through it like Incredible Hulk, which is not going to happen. So this is pretty much the concept of support and resistance, where it's a floor in one part of the area in the market and also a ceiling in another part of the market. All right. So floor is the support, resistance is the ceiling. So resistance is the top, floor is like the bottom. All right. Resistance like the ceiling, support is the floor. All right. Drop a 4 in the chat if you get that. And so when we're looking for the support and resistance, we're looking for, it needs to accompany both. So it needs to be a floor in one part of the market, and it also needs to be a ceiling in another part of the market. All right. So we're looking for it to accompany both people. Like our little stick figures, I needed to fit both of them when I go and look through the chart. All right. So that's pretty much what support and resistance is. That's pretty much it. The last thing is, when it comes to doing support and resistance, is, let me delete my figures, is our entries. All right. So when do I get in the market, right? When do I get in the market? Once I do all this stuff, just 2 steps. And then we just get in the market. Our 3rd step, entry, right? Our entries are only going to be on the 15-minute chart. Do not go lower than the 15 minutes to get into the market. If you get in under 15 minutes, to me, you are gambling, pure gambling. You might as well just do HFX. The best way to get into the market that is pretty reasonable for you to like go with your analysis is going to be the 15-minute mark, the 15-minute chart. All right. The 15-minute gives you more of an insight. You can see exactly what's going on. So what we'll do is when we get to the 15-minute, we're only looking for mainly just some indicators to either show us a buy or a sell. And so I'm going to give you 4 example totals of what we're looking for, okay? So primary here, boom. All right. So our first one we're going to look at out of the 4 is this set right here, all right? This candlestick, all right? Can somebody drop in the chat what this is identified as? Anybody? Yes. Thank you, Rod. Cool. It is. It's called a bullish engulfing. All right. This is going to be our first one for buys. So I'm going to do buy 1. When you're looking for a buy, this is one of the candlesticks you're looking for to get into the market. So this is one of your entries for a buy, right? So when you think of it, bullish is like a bull. or bully, right? So they're bullying the little person. So how I think of it is the big blue bully is bullying the red candlestick, is bullying this small red candlestick. Pretty much it. Blue, green, or whichever colors is your buyers is bullying that little small red or whatever color you have for your sellers candlestick. That's pretty much what you're looking for your buy, one of your buy entries. So you're looking for a big green or blue candlestick bullying the red. All right. And it's only taking one candlestick to engulf that small red candlestick. All right. It only takes one. For an engulfing, it only takes one. All right. So if you want to take a picture of this, you can. I don't mind. Go ahead, visual people, go for it. All right. So now we're going to look for some more examples. So we have 3 left. Example, another engulfing as we see. Let's go right here. All right. So right here, we have an example of a what? What would you call this candle? Nope. Yep. So this will be your this will be your bullish variation. Looks a little bit funky. This is your second entry for a buy. So we'll do buy 2. All right, out of the 4, we found 2 for our buys. All right. So boom. This is our, let me scoot over a little bit. Boom. All right. This is our bullish variation, right? Bullish variation. Basically what happens is you have more than one blue or green candlestick engulfing only one red candlestick. So whatever color your seller's candlestick is only one seller candlestick being engulfed by multiple blue or green candlesticks. All right. Takes multiple of the buyer's candlesticks to engulf that one seller candlestick. So as you see, there's multiple ones to engulf that one red candlestick. To me, I think of it as like a V. I don't know if like my mind is, a little bit creative. And so it just looks like a V to me also. So as a visual person, bullish variation takes multiple blue candlesticks or buyer candlesticks to engulf the one red seller's candlestick. All right. So these are your 2 entry points for a buy. Only 2 you should mainly look for. I mean, there's multiple ones, but this is the common one. All right. Now I'm going to show you what the sellers look like. So let's look for some with the sellers. All right, here's a perfect one. All right, so here we have a what? Tay, can you record? Yeah, I'm recording it. Does the wick on the last boot camp needs to be shown? No, the wick doesn't matter. You're looking at the body. Yes, this is a bearish engulfing. Thank you, guys. All right, looking like you want to learn today. Bearish engulfing. All right. This is your first one for the sell. All right, sell 1. Boom. All right. So this is for our sellers. All right. This is our entries for the sellers. So now let's flip the script. All right. So now our sellers are in control. So it only takes one big red candlestick to engulf that one green candlestick. So it only takes one candlestick to engulf that one green or blue candlestick. So basically the sellers are in control of the buyers. All right. So this is an entry point that you could get in for a downward trend. All right. For a downward trend, this is one of the entries that you're looking for to get into the market. All right. So this is called a bearish engulfing. All right. Engulfing means only one candlestick to, you know, conquer the other one. Another, you know, little metaphor I use is like the bear. The bear is swallowing the fish. So this one red candlestick is swallowing one fish, all right? So, you know, it just goes with the term to help you guys. Let's find the last one. Let's find a good one of that example. Let's go with this. This is kind of even. How about this one? All right. So now last one. What would you call this one? Where is the entries for the buy above? Huh? Okay. What is this one called? What is this candlestick called? Boom. Thank you. Loving it. All right. Bearish variation. Like I said, we're going to flip the switch. All right. So this is sell 2. All right. This is our second indicator for a sell entry. All right. Sell entry. All right. There's 2 for a buy, 2 for a sell. All right. So now we're just flipping the switch. All right. So now it takes multiple red candlesticks to engulf one blue candlesticks or one green candlestick. All right. Takes multiple red candlesticks to engulf one green or blue candlesticks. All right. So if you want to use a metaphor, it takes multiple bears to eat one big fish. Take multiple bears to eat one big fish. Bearish. Bearish is mean like it's going down, sell. Bullish means it's going up, buy. All right. Bearish is for sells, bullish is for buys. All right. So now we know what our entries are. All right. So let me zoom out so you guys can see the full 3 steps. All right. All right. Boom. There you go. All right. So these are our 3 steps that we're going to follow by today. All right. So this is our basic 3 steps that we're going to do to support resistance. First, identify the trend. All right. Identify the trend. It's either going up or it's going down. Next, we're looking for our floor and our ceiling. So the support and the resistance. So it needs to be a floor in one part of the market and also a ceiling in another part of the market for it to be a support and resistance zone. All right. Our last thing, we're looking for our entries on the 15-minute chart. This is where we're looking for our bullish engulfing, bullish variation, bearish engulfing, or bearish variation. All right. So the entries is where we get in the market. All right. So once we do the 2 steps before that, then we get in the market. So once we identify all that stuff, then we get in the market. All right. So it's just 3 steps. 3 steps. Don't complicate it. Don't make it difficult. It's just 3 steps. All right. So we're going to apply these 3 steps. If we don't apply them, we won't learn anything. All right. So 3 steps, right? First, we're going to identify our trend, all right? So you're either going to go on the 4-hour or in a day. So which one ever appeals to you? So 4-hour or a day. Both, I can see it clear. So I'm going to mark my upward trend. All right, I'm going to color it blue. Now that I know that it's blue, this will always indicate to me that I'm looking for only buy trends. Buy trends, only buy trends, all right? I'm only looking for buy trends. That's it. I'm not looking for no sales. Just buy. Because I want to trade with the trend. Trade with the trend always. If you go against the trend, you're going against the grain, and that's not good, all right? It's not good. All right, so we accomplished our first step, right? Accomplished the first step. Now we're going to go to our second step, which is the support and resistance zones. So here we're looking for areas where we can see it's a ceiling at one point and also a floor at another. All right, so I'm going to do rectangles for you guys today. Let's go teal. this is green. How about this? I'll just do a line for you guys. Probably be clear. All right, so here we have one. I'll do a white. Let me delete these squares. All right, and I'm gonna show you why I marked this. So you see it's a floor right here, which is the support, but also it's a ceiling right here for this point in the market, for that price around that time. All right, so you see it benefits both. All right, we're not just looking for one, we're looking for both. All right, so now we're gonna go in and find some more areas. All right, so we have another one, floor right here, ceiling right here. When you see that it's more than one, that means this is going to be a major support and resistance zone. So here we have more than one ceiling for this zone, and there's also a floor right there. So just keep aware that when you have more than one, when you can identify more than one, it's going to be essential later on in the market, whether you know it or not. All right, so now we're just gonna go find some more. This one can be one. This one right here. All right. I honestly want to go up, so I'm gonna scroll up to see what's going on. All right. This one hasn't came down yet. All right, so what I'm gonna do, since I can't see any more further, since this is a live market, what I initially do, I zoom out and I look left. All right, zoom out and I look left. I wanna see what the market did previous, because as we know, pertaining to all aspects of life, history repeats itself, okay? History repeats itself. Same with the market, it repeats itself. It repeats the same patterns all the time. So when you ask yourself, how do these people know what the market is going to do? It repeats itself. You just look left, all right? So I'm going to mark some zones from up here, all right? So boom, let's look. We got one, all right? So I have a ceiling right here, floor right here, floor, ceiling, floor, ceiling, all right? This is a break. I should see right here shutters too. I'm gonna just mark it. All right. So if you notice here, we have a floor, ceiling, floor, ceiling, floor, ceiling. All right, so I feel like, and then I always do the highest. Boom. All right, so now I'm gonna fast forward back to the current market. All right. So now that we've found our support and resistance zones, or our areas, whatever you want to call it, now we're going to do the last step, is go in on the 15-minute. All right, 15 minutes. So now we're only looking for what? What are we only looking for when we're getting into this market for this pair? What are we looking for? What's the only thing we're looking for when we're getting into this pair? Thank you, Jordan. We're only looking for buys only. Don't tell me you see a sell, because I don't want to hear it. We're only looking for buys only. When you look for buys, when you're going with the trend, it pays out way better. All right? So let's zoom in. Let's see what we got. As you see, what triggered this wonderful buy is this what? What triggered this nice little buy? Actually, the buy went up. It's even going further up. What candle set initiated this push? Yes, a variation. So when you see this, after you see that variation, that very next candlestick, you would get in. So the beginning of this third one is when you would have got it in the market, all right? So if you notice, to know when to get into that next candlestick, on the right-hand side of the prices, because, you know, that's what we go by, the prices, right? So there's a clock that tells you how much time is left to the next candlestick. So for my people who do not have patience and who cannot wait hours, this is perfect for you because this is only 15 minutes. Every candlestick is made at 15 minutes. All right, 15 minutes. All right. So after those first 30 minutes for these two blue candlesticks were made, that next 15-minute candlestick, you would get in. And if you would have got in, you would have automatically been a profit. So I'm going to change this line to green for our entry. No, let's do it orange. All right. So you would have got in right there, right? So if you notice, we had a support and resistance zone right here. As you see, it did not respect it. It demolished our support and resistance zone and it went through. So now your support and resistance zones are also known as your TPs. So when you're on the scanner and you see TP1, TP2, TP3, now you know that that is actually a support and resistance zone. It's a support and resistance zone. All right. So when you see TPs, just know it is a support and resistance zone. All right. They're the same thing, vice versa. All right. So it demolished our first TP, which would have been right here, went all the way to the second one. All right. It came down, retraced. You can see again, it bust through that TP, came back again, bust through again. I didn't mean to make them there. All right. And then it went up. And then it went up again. And then as you see, it retested our third support resistant line. But once it hit that, what can we see now? Another variation. So it just sparked another push in the market. So if we would have seen this to like our entry point and got in and wrote it to our TP3, let's see what we have. 122 off of a Forex pair. That's dope. That's dope. All right. So yeah, 122. That's cool. Like, that's crazy, right? Just off of 3 steps. 3 basic steps. I'm not asking you to do Superman and go figure out all this stuff. It's just 3 steps. Now I'm going to give you a helping tip when you're looking for a buy, all right? So as you've seen that we had this long buy, right? So I'm going to delete this. If you notice, I don't know if this is me, but like I see letters in this, all right? So I technically see a W, a funky W. So I'm gonna draw my W. W's equals buy. W's equal buy, all right? So here's the middle, it came back down, all right? When it came back down, the bottom right for W's is usually what you're looking for your entry, all right? When you see a W, you're looking for the bottom right, all right? The bottom right of the W. That area is going to give you the entry that you're looking for a buy. And as you see, it took off. Boom. It took off. And if I didn't want to end there and I held the trade, this buy would have, oh my God. It just took off. It really just took off. So you can continue that last line until however comfortable, you know, you're willing to stay in the trade. But you see, it started from that W. And boom, you're hitting TP, which is another support and resistance line, off of identifying a W. Crazy, right? Crazy. And that's pretty much it. So I'll show you how I do my M's. I don't recommend this on this chart. This is a buy chart, but I'm just showing you what it would look like for a sell. No, it's to the left. All right, boom, here, perfect. So like I said, W's are for buys. M's, like $1 million, is for sales. So if you notice, this is a funky W, of course, funky W. Now, instead of the bottom right, you're looking for the top right. So not the bottom right, the top right. So just flip it, top right. All right, we just flip our W up. Cool. Now we're gonna see that we see one of our buy entries. So right here we see a bearish variation. All right. So after we've seen our bearish variation, you get in on that following candlestick, which is right here. How do I know? There's a timer to the right that tells you how much time is left. Obviously, the market's not down here, so we're not gonna see it right now. But if it was, we'll see it. All right. So then, boom, this triggers our M. M's for sales. Then we just ride it down. This is not live. This was previous in the market. Don't put this trade in. If you see, this bad boy dropped to the floor. So just seeing an M triggered a lot. You will only look for an M on a sell or a downward trend chart. I don't recommend M's on this chart. This is only a buy trend chart, upward trend. We gotta go with the trend. Don't counter trend trade. All right. So this actually went for 99 pips. All right. This went for 99 pips. All right. Just for seeing an M, seeing our entry. All right. So going back. All right. So cool. This is how we do support resistance off of 3 steps. First, we find our overall trend, which is our blue line, which is a buy. Next, we go to the hour chart and we find our support and ceilings or resistance. We find our support and resistance area and we mark them. We mark about 3 to 4. All right. So the 3 or 4 lines you're marking are actually your TPs. So when you're like, how I'm supposed to know when to get out the market and secure my money? These are your lines. These tell you your prices. So boom, this would have been TP, TP, TP. These already passed. All right. So cool. Like this would be a TP. So if I'm looking at this, let's go. All right, cool. Like easy. You just go in however much you want to do and find your little support resistance zones. Last step you do is go to the 15-hour chart and find your entries. All right, that is it. What I'm going to show you guys now, how you can correlate this to the scanner. All right, so I'm going to go to my strategies. Hope you guys know how to get there. I am Center. And we're going to go and scroll down to harmonics. All right, boom. Let's load, right? Our 80 to 85% accurate scanner. Why not use it, right? Why not use it? What pair are we on? Euro USD. Let's see if we can find a Euro USD. They gave me everything else but a Euro USD. Okay, that's fine. Let's see what they have going on. These already hit. These already hit. Oh, this one demolished. All right. Let's see what I can put you guys on. These already took off. All right, so I'm just gonna use this as one of the examples. So let's do GBPCAD. So I'm gonna mark GBP. Boom. What I'm gonna do, it is blank. All right, I'm gonna mark first my what. What am I gonna mark up first? Can somebody tell me? What's the first step? Yep, trend. Trend is your friend. All right, so right now I actually see a downward trend. We can go to the 4-hour. I do see lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower than this previous. This looks like a downward trend to me. So what I do is I mark a downward trend line. Boom. Red it up. All right, downward trend. What are we only looking for in this trend? What are we only looking for in this trend? Thank you, sales. All right, we're gonna go to our hour chart, right? We're gonna do our support and resistance zones. if you notice with the scanner, they gave us our support and resistance zones. I don't have to do the work. I don't have to calculate and work my brain. All I have to do is copy the numbers. Sounds gorgeous to me, all right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to actually put these lines on my chart. So what I do is I'll go to the left, you have a toolbar, and I'll go to horizontal line. What I'll do is just click randomly on the chart and click this settings buttons, all right? Once you have the pop-up comes up, go to coordinates. This is where you would type the number in. Our entry is 1.7064.642, and I want to say it was 9. Yep, 9. 9. Oh, boom, they let me put it in. All right, this is our entry. So our entry are going to be orange, all right? We're going to put the next 3 lines in there. I'm going to make them white. All right, cool. So 170,099. Pretty dope. 0998. I'm not mistaken. Yes. All right. Last 2. All right. 16976. 16976. And then 09. 9. All right. That's our second TP, which is our next support resistance zone, as I said before. And our last one is going to be, let me zoom out real quick. 169217. 217. All right, cool. We have our support resistance zones. All right, support resistance zones. So they marked it up for us. We don't have to do the hard work. Now we just go in and find the entries. So if you notice, every time it hit this orange line, it drops to the floor. So when you're unsure about the trade and you don't know what it's gonna do, when you get in this trade, look left. Just look left. If we look, every time it hit this orange line, it dropped. Literally, every time it hit this orange line, it drops. It dropped. It drops again. Like, that's crazy, right? But it's so simple. Just look left, like I said. Draw the line and look left. Just look what happens every time it hit the line. Every time it hit this line, it dropped. All right? Every time it hit this line, it dropped. So I'm assuming, yeah, it had to be this motion right here. So on the scanner, they picked out this motion right here, this drop, all right? So to start this drop off, what do we see on this 15-minute chart? We see a variation. See a variation, right? Cool, we see a variation, boom, and it drops. Went to TP2, retraced back up. It was fiddling through our support resistance lines. All right, went through, came back up. What you see right here, and I actually see an M too. All right, so cool, we have this right here. All right, so we have our bearish engulfing. This is crazy. All right, so if you missed the first entry, the very first entry on the scanner, you could have got in on the first TP actually. All right, so if you would have gotten on the first TP to get back into the trade, all right, I see this M, see this gorgeous M. Let's mark this point so you guys can see this clearly. All right, boom, boom. At the top right corner too, we have a bearish variation. Took more than two red candlesticks to engulf that one fish, or 2 bears to engulf that one fish to trigger our sell. And it sold like crazy. Sold like crazy. So let's see how many pips this was. 88. Sheesh. All right, 88. I'm gonna give you guys a little insider. For my people who do not have patience, right? So I've actually noticed this for some of my people. So I'm going to give it to you guys as well. So as you know, we're doing a downward trend, right? So the same thing I do on TradingView, I do it on the scanner because the scanner already gave me my support and resistance lines. So I'm going to do it on the scanner. Why not? Let's work for me, right? And this is a generated software that predicts the market for me. Of course, I'm going to use it. So I draw me a downward line, right? So as you see, we're making lower lows and lower highs, right? So we have our lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, and we have our, our highs and we have our lower lows. Let me brush that. So lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. And it's continuing now, all right? So if you notice, it's going with our downward trend. We're making lower highs, lower lows. Why not capitalize off of this if we know it's obeying our trend line, all right? What I mean by obeying our trend line, it did not break it. So when I mean by break, let me do, let's see, what's a good example? All right, right here. So if you notice, sorry about the screen. If you notice when I draw a downward trend right here, you see that I did not continue this downward trend. Why? Because it broke my trend line. This is when I know when to get out the trade. You see that it has a blue candlestick shooting straight through my trend line. When I see this happen, I am getting out ASAP, no hesitation. I'm getting out, red alerts, I'm getting out. All right? When I see it broke my trend line like this and it destroyed it and it went up, this is when you get out. That's when you get out. That's when you get out the trade, all right? So just a heads up for you guys. All right, so if I see something go through my line, I know to get out this trade. So now that we know that this trade is following my trend line, let's capitalize off this, right? So what I taught some people to do, I know a lot of people know how to do it already, is 10 pips and dip. So we already know the scanner is 80, 85% accurate, right? And we know it's following the trend line. So let's use this smarter, right? So let's get in, say for instance, we've seen our bearish engulfing right here. Got in on the next candlestick, right? Now, 10 pips and dip. We're going down 10 pips and we're dipping. So this is meaning I'm not staying in trade for long. For those people who do not have the patience to stay, you can do this as well. So boom, that's 10 pips. And I'll mark my line. So within this 10 pips, I'm going to capitalize off of this very, very well. So say, for instance, I have a $300 account, right? $300 account. The most I can risk is 10%. So what is 10% of $300? Let's see who know their money. Yup, $30. $30, right? $30. Sorry, added a zero, got too happy. All right. So the highest lot size we can use is a standard. I don't recommend it, but I'm just showing you this is the highest lot size you could use. That equals $30. Now, for the people who actually have this account size, I recommend using this lot size or less, or you can do like 0. Let's go like $7. All right. So you have a range from $10 to $7. All right. $10 to $7. All right. You know, max you can trade. You can have multiple trades going, but it needs to add up to $3. Well, it looks like $3, but it's $30. All right. That's the max trades you can have going on risking your account. So you can use either standard or you can use micro. All right. So that's $7, or you can use a standard, right? So if we use a standard and we get in, right? So a 1-0, right? This is $10. If we're only going for 10 pips, we just made $100. So we just made $100 right here off of just 10 pips. And we dip. And we dip. So right here, entry, right? I put a 1-0 and I got literally on the same candlestick. And I dipped. I just made $100 that quick. Instead of me waiting this whole trade, you just do 10 pips and dip. But You don't want to risk more than 10%. You actually want to go in the middle. So you want to go like between like not too low, but not too high. So I don't recommend going over a 1.0 with this account size. All right. And so since we have $10 on the table, your stop loss, you'll use the measurement tool. I usually go up about like 10 to 15. So like, boom, let's go. All right, here, 10. You can do 10 to 10. You can do the 1-to-1 ratio, or you can do a half ratio. So you can do 5. So where, you know, if it, on this next candlestick, if it was to shoot up, you know, you're only losing 50 versus 100, all right? Or you're just, you know, 100 to 100. You're gaining 100 and you have the possibility to lose 100. If you want to reduce that risk, you can do only losing, what, $20 or $30, however many pips you're willing to risk, versus gaining 10, all right? Pretty simple, because I'm using the scanner. I'm not using nothing else. I'm using a scanner that predicts the market for me. Another reason why I do 10 pips and dip on this, I already know it's going down. The harmonic scanner has it going down. TP1's down here. If I'm getting in up here, of course I know I'm going to hit 10 pips. Unless it breaks my trend line. But I know I'm going to hit 10 pips because it's going, what, down. So as I'm going through this trade, and I know it's continuing to follow my trend line, I could get back in it. All right, get back in it, go another 10 pips. Boom, let's get in. Boom, now I just secured what? $200. All right. Okay, come on now. There we go. $200. So for my people who like to blow their account, this will help you build back your account. So say for instance you blew it to under $100, your lot sizes need to be about like 002, 003, 004. You can do 10 pips and dip to start building your account back to where you had it. So if you do that multiple times within one trade, throughout that trade, you already built your account up almost either half or more than half to the original account size you had in your trading account. All right. So like we made $200 off of one trade. Usually it takes sometimes multiple trades to make $200. Now we could do it again. Get in again, go 10 pips. All right. Boom, go down another 10 pips. Use your measurement tool. All right, boom. That's another 10 pips. It's still obeying our trend line. All right, that's $300 now. So we start off with 300, now we have $600. Isn't that crazy? I know it's crazy. It's crazy, but it's true. All right, like Future said, like it's crazy, but it's true. Like you just made $300 off of 30 pips. 30 pips. When we see 30 pips, we be like, oh my God, it ain't enough. It's enough. You got to make it work. Got to make it work. All right. So when you say it, do it again, the meaning is making continuous. Yes. So you're making continuous entries and you're going for 10 pips. As long as it's following your trend line. Like I said, trade with the trend. Trade with the trend is your best friend. Trading with the trend pays out, and it's paying out literally. So you'll get in. So like I said, the first entry right here, our first entry, the orange line, right? We get in and we go 10 pips. When do you get in? I mean, you could get in between it as long as it's following your trend line. It has to be following your trend line in order for you to know that the trade is still good. That's why I said draw your trend line. The reason why you'll know if it's not good anymore is if you see it break your trend line. Like here, if we drew that trend line again, boom, right here, going down. You see this blue candlestick went above my downward trend. So that's when I will know not to get in. When I'm getting in for the 10 pips and dip, I'm going to be doing market execution. So my initial one will probably be a sell stop. it'll probably be a sell stop. If you use the entry from the actual scanner, you can do a sell limit because it's bounced off and then came back down. So either one, sell limit or sell stop, will work in your favor. If you're going through the actual trade, when it's already initiated the sell, I would prefer to do sell stop. So say for instance, I already caught the first 10 pips. I'm gonna do a sell stop right here at this price where my orange line is. I think this is wrong. Let's switch it back to blue. All right, so I'm gonna do it, right here. So my orange line, I'll do a sell stop at this price. So 1.70329. All right, that'll be my sell stop, and I'll let it go. And then once it hit my TP, this is my TP, which is this green line, and 1.70221. That'll be my TP. All right, so it's not like I'm sitting here waiting for it. If you want to do it and you just having fun with it, you can do market execution and keep getting in, but just mark your 10 pips. You need to know how to count pips before you do this. So if you don't know how to count pips, don't do it. You need to know how to count pips, and you need to know risk management. That's why I said don't risk more than 10%. Don't risk more than 10%. And when you're in these trades, doesn't need to be the full 10%. Like you can go a little bit down. You don't have to be greedy. You can get that money. You go a little bit down and it'll still work in your favor, all right? So that's just, how another way you can use the scanner and, basic market structure to mark up the charts. I'm going to get off this call so we can go ahead and get this prospect going with our legendary leaders. I am recording this, so if you do want it, I know a lot of people ask, I will have it for you guys if you want to just go over and practice. Now, I'm going to say this. If you don't practice this, you will not get it. You will not get none of this if you do not apply the knowledge I just gave you. If you don't apply it, don't expect results. I mean, just send me a message on Telegram. Here's my name. Here's my name. Tesla, folks. Boom. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna drop the video. To apply the knowledge, make sure you go on trade. You can go on TradingView or you can go on the scanner, because the scanner you can still identify support and resistance on here. All right. You can still identify it. So we still have. If you don't want to do markups on your own, we have a ceiling right here, and we also have that's our TP right here, and we have a floor right here. So even if you don't want to do the markups on your own, you still should be able to identify why the scanner made this a TP. So this is still good practice for you guys. If you don't feel comfortable with TradingView, you still can practice on the scanner. You can identify why they said this is a TP, so you get a good understanding why it is what it is. Once you understand this, the sky is the limits. Like, the sky is the limits. This trend line is your best friend. This trend line is your best friend. Even if I'm going into a buy, I'm going to make a buy trend. So actually, if I will hold this, you could hold this, boom. It came back down. This is where you would have got out for a buy. That big red candlestick that shot through that line, you can get out. That's when you will emergency red lights, get out the trade. So it works for a buy or a sell. Just draw your trend lines, like I said. Mark where you see a floor and a ceiling, because once you can do it, then you can go in here and be like, oh my God, I see it so perfectly. You can't tell me nothing. So, practice makes perfect. Use it to your advantage. It is 24/7 unlimited access to the scanner. Use it, abuse it. It makes money. It makes money. So, like I said, I will, just send me a message in Telegram. I get the recording to you guys. I also want to thank you guys for being on this call with me, taking these gems. Let's make this money tonight, okay? So yeah, I'm gonna, download this and shoot me a message on Telegram. I'll send it to you guys. Oh my God. And then I'll get it to you guys. All right. Sorry about that. But thank you for taking the time out your day to get on this call with me. I do appreciate it. Nothing but love. Nothing but love. Oh my God. Okay, I'm getting off. All right. So I'm going to get off, and I'm going to get this recording to you guys. So thank you again. If you have any questions, just hit me, and I'll get it over to you. So I'm getting off now.